Welcome everybody to the first round of Sprint Season 11 by Go Setups. We are here live at Spa and we are in qualifying. As you can see, it is some pretty dire conditions out there. It does not look to be too grippy out there, and we can have a look at the temperatures. It is a green track, so not optimum. And 31-degree track temperature, so it should be evolving quite quickly. Here is the first driver out on track right now. It's Abe Santama, the 5-time VGTR champion in the pros. Obviously, this time, no classes in this championship, only one class, since we do have a proper prize pool and the rest of it. And we can see what he's able to do in this not so optimal conditions in 20 minutes. He has 20 minutes to get a proper lap done, and we can ride on board with him as he prepares his car for the first lap. You can see slowing down right before the bus stop, trying to get the better exit onto the very short straight towards the source, a very critical corner if you want to have good momentum going up a Rouge and Radallon. We can go on board with him right now. Very nice line, upper Rouge, and not invalidating it there, so a good start to the lap already. And now the very long Camel Straight, now down towards the chicane, a very easy chicane to get wrong. A little bit of oversteer there, but nothing too serious. And this corner, really dislike it myself, and a lot of other drivers do agree with me, as now we come through No Name and towards Pouon, as people already colliding with each other in this qualifying session. Having to lift a little bit there through Pouon, the car not really turning enough. Towards the final sector of this track, having to get the better exit. A lot of oversteer there as he tries to muster his way through. Getting onto the power quite early, turning the TC off. Now onto the long straight. Through Blanchemont. Up towards the bus stop chicane, a very crucial point in this lap as well, as he climbs over the curbs early onto the power, trying to not kill the car. And what is this lap going to be? It's going to be a 2:17.2, a baseline for all of the other drivers. Who's next to come across the line? It's going to be Krzysztof Makowski. And it's not a valid lap. Behind him, Fabio Gallimini. Is it going to be a valid lap for him? Yes, it is. A 2:20.5 moves him into third place behind Eric Giselle, who set a 2:18.1. And after that is Dries Verhulst, who's going to be setting a 2:18.7. After him, Tim Sieber, 2:19.6. Miguel Estezaran, 2:19.8. Gets beaten by Sween Viki for 2:19.7 as well. Then Radovan Zankel, 2:19.5. And Serd Pluch, he is going to be crossing the line in just a little bit. And we've seen Serd Pluch before. He is a very competent driver. A really, just really drives really well. He moves up into fourth place behind Dries Verhulst, his teammate for this season. Will Pierre, 2:20.1, and Fabio Gallimini, it was a 2:20.5 for him. Behind him, Ganahade Hutama, And then comes Anthony Camacho, 221.9, and Jake Snedden. Or Snedden, apologies. And Ian Anderson currently last with a 226.3. Maren Reisenhauser moving ahead of Sween Viviki and Miguel Estezaran with a 219.700, a 219.7 dead, as Dries Verhulst stopping in the middle of the track. And Abe Santama still improving on his time, as he's now going to be crossing the line just momentarily to be going 3/10 quicker to crack into the 216s already. Even with the awful conditions out there, he's still going to set a 216.997. The track is evolving every single lap. It has already turned to fast. As we just wait for more people to cross the line. Christoph finally setting a valid lap of 217.657 for the Apex 1 driver. He definitely wants to improve on that time. Tim Sieb, a 6/10 improvement for him. That's going to put him up a couple of positions ahead of Sirpluk and Radovan Zankel, up into 5th place at 219.1. Sven Viviki, though, beats that by 12 hundredths of a second, or 12 thousandths of a second, to go up into 5th place. Gilles Alleman in the Bentley, a car that we don't see that often, at 219.2, up into 7th place. Leon Stapelfeld only setting a 221.162. Looks like he's been in a little bit of a battle with some other drivers, as you can see there. Snedden in the Lexus, kind of, I wouldn't say blocking, but definitely getting a little bit in the way of Leon Stapelfeld's fast time attempt. As the track continues to improve, we've got Miroslav Kuchta going 4/10 up and up into 12th place with a 219.535. A good lap from him. And Abe also still improving on his time. He doesn't have any tow whatsoever in front of him, and he's still improving. Even if it's by the slightest of margins, it still does count. Behind him is Krzysztof Majowski, or it's not Majowski, it's Makowski. Miskovsky. I'll have to ask him afterwards. And Abe Santama through the bus stop chicane, gaining about a 10th. He's coming across the line at 216.990. 7 thousandths of a second quicker that last lap. Christoph now across the line will go 2/10 up to 17.4. And he decides that that is it for that stint. Fabio Gallamini going 5/10 up, and this is going to be a great improvement for him as he goes up from 14th up into 10th place with 219.312. As he's got Miguel Estezaran now. Look at the time he's got up on his qualifying best, 8/10 up. That is going to be a huge improvement for him from 16th all the way up into 6th place, ahead of 7th of Sven Viviki. And ahead of heaps of other cars. Great stuff by him. As now we look on to see if Eric Giselle will be able to improve on his time. 4/10 up. He only needs about 3 to get ahead of Sir Pluk for 3rd place. He does do it. Over 217.560. Sir Pluk not improving on his time. Leon Stapelfeld, 2 seconds improvement. It's a 219.1 for him. As Jack Snedden also improving on his time, still down in 24th. Andrew Priatko, it's going to be his first valid lap, up into 18th place. Maren Reisenhauser coming back into the pits. Then comes Claudia de Barros, who does not set a valid lap. And Marvin still in the pit. Miroslav Kushta going 0.3 up on his 219.5. It's going to be a 219.3. Up into 14th place. Bertold Limpa, or Limpa Bertold, driving for HVML. It's a whole second up for him as he tries to push himself from 20th place all the way up into 15th. Good lap by him. Randovan Zankel not up on his time. Neither is Dries Verhulst or Sven Vivicki. And Tim Meyer also not improving. So, is it going to be raining? No, it's not going to be raining. So that means the race hopefully shouldn't have any rain start. As we have Ganahari Hutama. Is he improving on his time? Unfortunately for him, it's an outlap. Christoph also on an outlap. And Shunkwala De Luca also on an outlap. Miguel Cesarin still absolutely cooking as he's going 0.3 up. And might he put himself up onto... Actually, still on the 3rd row, but maybe into 5th place. Well, he misses out just by a little bit at 218.8. Is a great lap time for the McLaren driver, and it looks to be pretty content with that as he pulls over to the side of the track. Eric Giselle, invalid lap for him. What could have been? Let's have a look. It would have been way worse. So he did not miss out on too much. Here comes Anthony Camacho to start his flying lap. Leon Stapelfeld also on an outlap. A lot of people on their second stint of qualifying, as we're going to see De Barros not set a valid lap. And Lars Buis for Blue Hawk Racing from 12th. He moves up into 10th place. The 219.187 is a good lap for him. 28th is Jerry Koch. Still an invalid lap for him. He's going to have to really push on if he wants to improve, if he wants to get a proper qualifying time. Benjamin Koo stays in 24th. As we see Awais Khan move up into 5th place. Awais Khan at 218.587. And that is a great lap by him. He beats Dries Verhulst and Miroslav Kuchta, as Dries Verhulst now beats him for 5th place with a 217.9. We see Tim Meyer cross the line and set an invalid time. Unfortunately for him, it's going to be a outlap for Tim Sieb and Jack Snedden. Is it going to be a valid lap for him finally? No, it's going to be an outlap. So many people on outlaps. Not enough people setting proper valid times. Ganahari Hutama sets a valid lap, and unfortunately for him, it's only 0.04 of a second slower than Radovan Zankel, so he's going to have to settle for 19th place. Christoph not improving that last lap either. Gilles Alleman still stuck in 13th place as he gets ready to set some of his final flying laps. Limpar Bertold also on an outlap. Holy moly, how many times can I say that? Outlap, outlap, outlap for everybody out here. Except for Anthony Camacho, who's going 7/10 quicker. Can he get ahead of Will Pierre and maybe even Andrew Priatko, as he does go ahead of Will Pierre and only a 10th away from Andrew Priatko. Good lap by him at 220.07. And he'll be hoping to improve on that. Fabio Gallimini down on his time. Not going to be a good sign for him. He's got a couple more laps to go. That is Claudio De Barros with a very broken car. Definitely don't want to be driving that. As Abe not able to improve on his time. Ben Koo is going to be improving on his time by quite a lot here. 7/10 up. It's going to be a 220.4. It's not going to be an improvement in actual position, but it is good enough. As Radovan's ankle also not improving. Andrew Priatko did improve and up into 21st. As we see... Oh, let's see. Oliver Jewig, a 219.182 up into 12th place. Here comes Tim Meyer. Still invalid. Tim Sive. And up into 8th place in the Honda. The Honda proving to be a very good car with the negative ballast. Oh, with the negative 15 kilograms that it has, it is proving to be a very good car out there. As I'm hoping that I'm not missing out on too many people. Gianluca De Luca up into 9th place with a 218.7. Good lap by him. Miguel Estesaran going to be starting his final couple of laps, as this is his out lap. 2 more laps follow this, and he'll be hoping for a good one. Limpar Bertold up into 13th place at 219.1. Then comes Gilles Alleman, who does not improve on his time, and he might begin to worry a little bit here. Anthony Camacho, 23rd right now. He's 5/10ths up, 6/10ths up, as he crosses the line now, up into 20th place with a 219.5 dead. Good lap by him. Here is Marvin Reisenhauser in that said Honda, starting his final couple of laps. Fabio Gallamini, 2/10ths up. That's going to be a good improvement up into 14th place with a 219.130. And Gerrit Koch still struggling to set a valid lap. And this as well is not going to be valid, as he's hoping to really put the foot down and finally set a proper lap. As Abe not improving. Radovan improving by a 10th. And is it going to be enough to get ahead of Anthony Camacho? Unfortunately for Anthony Camacho and Marvin Reisenhauser, he is up with a 219.3. Good lap for Mr. Radovan's ankle. Oliver Jewig, 3/10ths up and up into 12th place. Benjamin Koo starting his final flying lap. Sven Vivike also starting his final flying lap here. Everybody who crosses line after this period will be starting their final flying lap. Here is Tim Sibe though, improving by a lot, up into 6th place with a 218.135. It looks like the track is evolving quite a bit. Dries Verhulst also at 220. No, that was not an improvement. Miroslav Kuchta, 2/10ths up, 218.6 ahead of Gianluca De Luca. Kanahade Hutama also improving on his time. Jack Snedden into the pitch. Gianluca De Luca improving on his time as well. Not enough to get ahead of Miroslav Kuchta. There's a lot of people are crossing the line at the exact same time. It's getting a little bit difficult to measure who is going better. Miguel Cesar in that last lap would have put him up into 9th place had it been valid. So we'll be checking if he does, if he's able to actually put in a good flying lap. Gilles Alleman, by the way, 218.4 in the Bentley. Good lap by him, and he should be pretty happy with that, I'm pretty sure. As we have Marvin Reisenhauser not improving on his time, and he has one more lap to go to improve. Fabio Gallamini at 219.0 puts himself up into 15th place. Gerrit Koch, the only person right now who has not set a valid lap, and he's not going to set a valid lap, not a single one in his 20-minute session, as he crosses the line now, and that is it for Gerrit Koch's qualifying. There's 3 minutes to go. In overtime, Abe Santama sets the fastest lap off qualifying, 216.6. Leon Stapelfeld trying to improve, and I don't think he will, by only by 0.02 of a second. Here is Sven Viviki, 5/10ths up on his time. Can he get ahead of Dries Verhulst? And unfortunately for him, he doesn't. up into 6th place at 218.0 onto the 3rd row. It's Dries Verhulst now, 5/10 up as well. And this might worry Christoph, but he shouldn't. Up onto the 2nd row for Dries Verhulst to a 17.5 dead. Miroslav Kuchta invalid and therefore out of qualifying. Tim Meyer 3/10 up, 4/10 up as he finally sets a proper lap at 219.5 is good enough. Sirt Plug coming across the line to improve and ahead of Swimmer VK and just behind his teammate of Dries Verhulst. Here is Miguel Tazan. Remember when we were talking that he had the 218.5? Well, there it is, the 218.525. Weiss can also improve on his time, 218.2, and Limpar Bertold, unfortunately for him, fortunately for him, improving and up into 15th place. And there are your splits. Well, not splits. Times, the qualifying times. Obviously, Abe Santama, 6/10 up on P2. Not just everybody. He's up on P2 by 6/10 of a second. Yeah, not 600ths, 6/10. And we can look through the grid right now. If I can turn this up, I can. Beautiful. Abe starting in P1 with a 216.6, the only person who has been able to put himself up in the 216s. Then comes his friend Eric Giselle up on the 1st row. Yesterday they started on the same row. Today they'll be starting on the same row as well. Christoph for Apex 1 starting in 3rd. Only 300ths of a second behind Eric Giselle. So there'll be quite a close race between them two. Dries Verhulst also joining Christoph on the 2nd row with a 217.5, and his teammate behind him in 5th. Then comes Sven Vivike and Tim Sieb. Weiss, Khan and Gilles Alleman, the lone Bentley in this season. A sudden change from the 488 back to the Bentley, and sitting in 9th with a 218.4. Miguel Estezaran, the McLaren, the VGTR Esport McLaren, starting in 10th. Then comes Miroslav Kuchta and Gianluca De Luca. Oliver Ewig for Vivid Global Racing starting in 13th, and Gunahada Hutama in 14th. Then comes Bertold Limpar in 15th and Fabio Galamini in 16th. Marvin Reisenhauser for Speed Force Racing, I'm pretty sure that is, starting in 17th, and Leon Stapelfeld in 18th with a 219.1. Then comes Lars Buis also for Blue Hawk Racing, and Anthony Camacho for SNV starting in 20th. Out of the top 20 is Will Pierre and Radovan Zankel, 219.395, and Tim Meyer in 23rd and Andrew Priatko in 24th. And then comes Benjamin Koo in 25th place, definitely out of position, and it could be that the Ferrari just not doing him any service. Jake Snedden in the Lexus, definitely an interesting choice for the season in the Lexus, starting in 26th. Behind them is Ian Anderson, and last but not least, Jarek Koch, who did not set a single valid lap in the qualifying session. Bentley doesn't really work. 2 seconds slower than in the Honda. Well, you should have picked the Honda. You know, Gilles. It is your own choice. You could have picked the Honda. You didn't. That's on you. So, for the rest of the time, we'll just be calling it a skill issue. But still, good stuff to put it in what is 9th place. Honda is horrible to drive for 75% of the calendar. Oof. Well, that's unfortunate news for Sirt Plug and Marvin Reisenhauser. But we'll see. We'll see how horrible it is to drive Mr. Gilles Alleman. You know, maybe they will finish ahead of you. Well, Marvin currently on the back foot of doing that, starting in 17th place. And one mandatory pit stop for everybody out here today. A mandatory fuel stop with a fixed refuel time. So we can slap that on. Everybody having a mandatory pit stop. And a minimum stop time. And we'll just save 20 seconds. And a pit window of 15 minutes. 900 seconds. I'm gonna defend like a lion. You know what? Let's have a look at that car. And tell me that you would not be... If you say that you're not afraid to overtake this huge beast, like, you would be lying. Like, whenever you're behind a Bentley, you feel tiny. Especially look at the front of it. Holy moly. The thing is scary, but another scary car, where is it? Somebody is driving the BMW here, surely. Yeah, the BMW. If this thing is behind you and flashing its lights, you can see it directly in your rearview mirror, and it is horrible. So, two of the scariest cars on the grid today, the Bentley and the MX, the M4. The M4. Lexus is also crazy big. True. True. Lexus is huge as well. Let's have a look at that car. Starting in... what is... this place? Yeah, the Lexus is pretty huge. It also sounds like an RC car, so... it's hard not to spot. Hard not to spot, that's for sure. But... now, they will be getting underway for 1 hour of racing. Abe Santama knows this track way too well as he gets underway. And we'll see how this start will pan out, as I'm not sure why, but he's fallen back quite a lot. And it is a very long way round the Spa-Francorchamps circuit with a long formation lap. So if you have any predictions for how this race is going to go, or how many collisions there will be, or whatever you might have in mind, do let us know in the chat, because we can afterwards check who is right. And also, before the race starts, I do have to plug our season sponsor, the title sponsor for the season, Go Setups. So if you want to buy some of the best setups out there, do go down, link in the description. They provide a lot of eSports setups and safe setups as well for most of the cars, especially some of the people here probably driving the McLaren 720S Evo or the Porsche 992. Or even if you're driving the V12, they probably have the setups for you. So if you want to spend a reasonable amount of money, then do go down in the description and buy some for yourself. But that is it for the plugs. And we can focus on the race. One of the largest, if not the largest circuit on the calendar. Times of 2:17 in the race. If you're lucky, 2:16. About 20 something laps. No rain so far. It is a fast track though, not optimum. So still, it looks like Belgium has had some sort of smoggy issue going on, since it is still a fast track. So we'll see how that affects the drivers, since their grip will be a little bit lower than they would expect. And with one mandatory pit stop, with a 25-second fixed refuel time, which means that no matter how much fuel you put into your car, it will always be 25 seconds. So you can put in a liter, or you can put in 50 liters, and it will still be 25 seconds, which bunches up the group a little bit. Also, the pit window opening up after about the halfway point for 15 minutes, which is when you have to pit in order to clear the mandatory pit stop. If you don't clear that mandatory pit stop in the pit window time, then you will get a pretty hefty penalty at the end. But now they line up side by side, $50 prize pool on the line. We're not doing some sort of AOR crazy, like $1,000 prize pool, but it's still money, you know. If you can win something, then it's already great. And hopefully I don't have to sneeze in the start, because I have it coming. But side by side, and even though they have crossed the line already, they will be starting after La Source towards Arouge, and we'll see how they go through the first complex, as Abe Santama is going to be leading the way in the McLaren, the car that is not really known for having the greatest of starts, and the Marshall towards the end of this pit straight, the old pit straight, will be waving the green flag for the race to commence. And Abe Santama not having the greatest of starts. Eric Giselle nearly going side by side with him through a Rouge and Radalon, and they're getting really close up there. Definitely going off track and getting a little bit of an advantage behind them. There's already been a collision, and it looks like that is Marvin Reisenhauser, who's already in the wall. They're going side by side over here. Right, Leon Staplefeld. They're going 3 wide into the next chicane, and it looks like the rest is going on just fine. No, it isn't. Miguel Estesara has had a big collision with another McLaren up in front as well. There's been a bit of a collision with Miroslav Kuchta, but the top 5 following suit. No big switches in the top 5. Abe Santama still leading the way, but an unfortunate bunch of events for what is Miguel Cesarin and Miroslav Kuchta, and also Anthony Camacho had to avoid that accident, and the other McLaren that was involved with that. Oh, and Gilles Alleman has also been crashed out. Miroslav Kuchta also out of the race, it looks like. And into the pits. 3 minutes of damage. Oof, murdered. Where did you get murdered? Because I didn't see anything. Definitely on purpose. Well, that's going to be one hell of an investigation if it is on purpose. End of camo. Oof. Wow, that's going to be an interesting one to have a look at after the race, as the top 5 continue to run just within half a second of each other. Christoph wanting to go and overtake Eric Giselle for second place. I was on the outside and somebody just didn't brake. Ooh, that is not good. Fabio Gallimini also falling a couple of positions to Anthony Camacho. Radovan Zankel also falling a couple of positions as he tries to go side by side, but not able to do that. Going Upper Rouge and Radalon. And Anthony Camacho, it looks like he got a very good exit there. And now down the straight in the slipstream behind them. There's also a nice little train with Tim Meyer, Lars Buis, Will Pierre, and Leon Stapelfeld in 14th place. Anthony Camacho not able to overtake, but look at that. Zankel able to overtake Bertold Limpar, and Anthony Camacho trying to follow as well, but not able to take advantage of that. Fabio Gallimini behind, not able to get past, and now he's under pressure from Will Pierre and Lars Buis, but it looks like they've had a contact. They're round, and Tim Meyer off the track, so is Will Pierre and Lars Buis also having contact. Fabio Gallimini going side by side with Leon Stapelfeld down towards Pouon around the outside. I don't think he could get this overtake done, but that would be really, really interesting. I guess I'm going to have to come back in the second race. Ooh, yeah. Unfortunate, really. That's Team Seabay overtaking Benjamin Koo for 15th place. Benjamin Koo having a pretty good start, already up 9 positions, and it looks like it was Awais Khan who was involved in that collision with Miguel Astazara. And as now look at that on the inside, Lars Buis trying to get that position back. The two McLarens, an equal machinery, trying to fight it out on track, as behind them the absolute speed torpedo of the Aston Martin going round the outside of Blanchimont and trying to get past Buis, as now towards the braking zone down the inside. Can Tim Meyer possibly go for the overtake? And unfortunately for him, he's not going to have enough room to get that one finished. You won't like it, but it was Miguel. Ooh. If you could send the replay to me, like a clip of it, that would be perfect. But I really doubt that he did that on purpose. Tim Meyer. Oh, hello. Oh, what's happened there? Awais. And there's that, an Alt F4. Ooh. Awais Khan not having the greatest of races either. Early crashing out, and now not having a good time at all. As behind Tim Meyer is Marvin Reisenhauser going on the inside. And ahead of Lars Buis for 19th place. After having that collision with the wall, he's doing a pretty good job. Or I don't even think he had a collision with the wall. It could have been just a spin around. Still, 19th place. Good job by him. Yeah, it's Gerhard Hutama fighting with Radovan Zankel and Bertold Limpar. Santama going a little bit slow. Not sure what that was all about. Yes, Bertold Limpar now getting closer and closer. As in the slipstream of the Ferrari, he pulls off to the right. He's not going to be able to get the overtake done this time. But maybe if he gets a better exit out of the source, which it looks like he did, can he get a run down towards the Rouge and Radalon and maybe, just maybe, have an overtake down the Kemmel Straight? As, ooh, look at how close he's getting to the back of the Ferrari. The Ferrari twitching a little bit around as now, side by side, round the outside. And if he's able to get this overtake done, well, that'll just be absolutely spectacular. As on the outside he goes, and can he do it into the chicane? Maybe a little bit of a switchback here as he's going to have a better exit. And unfortunately for him, and fortunately for Gunnar Hardy, who has great defensive maneuvers, as now towards the inside, Bertolt Limpard having a great little bit of a battle here and going ahead of Gunnar Hardy Hutama, the season 9 AM champion. Good little scrap, absolutely great. As Jake Snedden now under pressure from Lars Buis. As Lars Buis on the inside and keeping it on the inside through Puon. Jake Snedden will have the inside to the next corner, and it looks like he did break a little bit later, but Lars Buis on the outside and now on the inside. Beautiful maneuver to get up into 19th place. All of these 15 minutes practice for nothing. Oh no, not the 15 minutes of practice. Unfortunate, really. It's a lot of time wasted. Marvin Reisenhauser having a good comeback race, it looks like. Oh, that's the commentator's curse. Oh, that is the commentator's curse. Back at it again. Oh, and he's not able to even get back onto the track. Oh no. Oh, that is so horrible. I am gonna shut my mouth. I am gonna shut my mouth for the next couple of minutes. Wow. Tim Seabay might overtake Leon Stapelfeld here, as he's having a okay race so far. Down 7 places from where he started. Definitely a lot more pace in that car than the ones around him. Tim Seabay not able to get ahead of Leon Stapelfeld that time round, and that's a big snap of oversteer, and I think I can see what you're talking about, Gilles. That is a lot of death by the Hondas happening so far. Some of the only cars that have been snapping to the absolute extreme. Biggest problem is the Rouge and Blanchimont. It looks like, I mean, I haven't driven a Honda myself, but it looks like there's a lot of throttle oversteer on this car, like a lot more than usual. As Leon Stapelfeld now under pressure from Team Sieb, as Team Sieb on the inside might get boxed in here from Anthony Camacho, who is fighting with Leon Stapelfeld as well to keep that 12th place. You really have to hit perfect angle or you just fly into the wall. Ooh. And Anthony Camacho able to fend off Leon Stapelfeld, who's now behind Team Sieb. And going to be under pressure from Fabio Gallamini. A little bit of contact between Leon and Tim Sieb. It's low wing in the fast corners. Ooh, yeah. Team Sieb in the slipstream. Last lap, even with the fighting going on, about half a second quicker than Anthony Camacho. So it should be an easy job. An easy job to dispatch of him. Obviously, it is the commentator's curse. So, you know, I am not going to say that it's... I'm not going to say that it's going to be super easy. Team Sieb, though, having a good run here to possibly get an overtake. Anthony Camacho, as Anthony made a big mistake there, and that might even cost him another position, as Leon Stapelfeld having a greater exit. And towards Blanchimont he goes. Is this going to be an overtake into Blanchimont? No, it's not. But 1/10 away in the slipstream of the Porsche. He's got Fabio Gallamini behind as well. And apologies if I sound a little bit nasally. I do have a little bit of a cold. But Leon not able to overtake Anthony Camacho for the time being. And Tim Meyer getting overtaken. No, he's out of the race. It looks like he's out of the race. Jake Snedden. God, I really want to get rid of this voice. 2/10 away from Lars Buers. And Myron Reitenhouse yet again having problems with his Honda. Yet again. It's Bertold Limpar moving up in this race. Now behind Radovan Zankel. And still 3/10 away in the McLaren. Not the best of cars when it comes to top speed advantage, especially with the 31 kilos that it has on board compared to the BMW's 14. Definitely not the best. But Bertold Limpar making it work for now. And I'll be back. I just need to fill up my water because otherwise I might starve of water here. And looks like Bertil Limpar still not able to get past, to dispatch off Zankel. Although getting a better exit there. Looks like Zankel having a little bit of a moment out of the bus stop chicane. And this might be the perfect opportunity for Bertil Limpar. And he does not take it. Leon Stapelfelt in the back though, fighting with Anthony Camacho. That's Anthony Camacho now round the outside. Can he possibly get this position back on the switchback? Leon Stapelfelt goes completely not off the track. I thought he did. He disappeared for a second. He is ahead of him and up into 13th place for Leon Stapelfelt. Good stuff, but I don't think this battle is over yet. As Anthony Camacho still getting closer and closer as Limpar Bertil now ahead of Radovan Zankel and Fabio Gallamini. What's happened to him? Did he have a big snap moment? And it looks like he has. Back into the pits, the SpaceX racing driver. Back into the pits, and that's going to be a lot of repairs. And he will definitely be lapped quite a lot. Sent clip to your DM. Okay. I'll have a look at it. I will have a look at it right now. Hopefully it doesn't have any meme music. Alright. Oh. No, that is so sad. Looks like he might have been too focused on all the cars around him. Oh, that is so sad. Yeah, it just looks like he just lost focus. Has nice music. Is it just gonna be non-copyright music? What is this? I don't want to get copyright claimed. You know, I can get copyright claimed now. No thanks. If it was like, I don't know, some non-copyright music, like monkeys spinning around. There you go. Next time, put that as the music. It is great. Monkey spinning around is the classic. Is it called monkey spinning? Yeah, by Kevin McLeod. Oh, we'll put it on right now. Beautiful. Breaks at the quali breaking point. Yeah, it just looks like he completely misjudged it. Unfortunate, really. There you go. This is the banger. That's what every single cultured YouTuber should put as their music. Miguel Estezaran and Lars Buis colliding. Oh, Miguel. It's just not your day, is it? It's just not your day. You know, from this one race, he might just get disqualified. Nah, not get disqualified, but a quali ban. Quali ban might happen. There's Jake Snedden now behind, trying to get up into 17th place. And Marvin Reitenhouse are now also behind Jake Snedden. Remember last time I said Marvin was having a good race? Why does it keep on happening? Whenever I even mention his name, it continues to nearly die or spin out. Anyway, Ganahari Hutama now, 2/10 away from Radovan Zankel, as pit window has just opened and Camacho is into the pits straight away. I'm just not even going to switch to Marvin anymore, just for his own sake. You know, there's no reason to spectate him. I bet he's having the greatest of races ever. Gonna practice a bit for the 24-hour race later. Which 24-hour race? Because I know there's a bunch of them going on. I know one that I'm doing soon on Spa. I think it's the CRF 24 hours of Spa. FRL, 24 hours of Suzuka. Oh, I bless you, mate. I hope you don't get tortured too much. Yeah, good luck. Bringing a championship home, alright. Fair enough. It's Oliver Jewig. Ewig, one of those is how you say it. He is only 4/10 away from Gianluca De Luca. Last lap, 0.06 of a second quicker. This lap, it might be the same to be fair, as he hasn't really been able to get too close. As now Anthony Camacho, the first person to clear the mandatory pit stop with a Bentley on pole. Next week. What's going to be next week? It's going to be Nürburgring next week, I think, isn't it? Yes, it is. Alright, well, good luck with doing that. Ganahari Hutama going for the dive on Radovan Zankel, and Bertold Limpa are able to overtake him straight away, because Ganahari Hutama went absolutely super deep. Oh no, super narrow, and having no exit speed. Never mind. BOP is horrible. It's minus 40 kilos. You can't complain about your one. But yeah, the rest, yeah, it's pretty unfair still. Oh, need 8, yeah, yep. I know that. Not great. Oliver Ewig. Still not getting too close to the back of Gianluca De Luca. As I don't want to mention the person's behind name, but they are trying to unlap themselves, as they are, let's just say, going a little bit quicker than the rest after pitting for new tires and fuel and for damage, which looks like that was about 14 seconds of damage. But up in front, still not much happening. Limpar Bertold, or Bertold, I keep on calling him Limpar Bertold because that's how he used to have his name formatted. Now it's Bertold Limpar. Still getting closer to Radovan Zankel. Wait, that sounds like I'm saying Radovan's ankle. His name is Radovan Zankel. Oh my god. That is interesting. Radovan Zankel, is he coming into the pits? I think he just forced Bertold into the pits as well. I think Bertold thought that he just went super wide and was going to go for the overtake. And now he's forced into the pits. Alright. That is the problem with the pit lane over here. that you can just get forced into the pits. Very, very confusing, but really cool at the same time. And that is just the quirks of the super old circuits like Spa. Sert Plug catching onto the back of his own teammate, both driving for Blue Hawk Racing, a new team under management of Sert Plug himself. So if Dries does any funny business, well, you can expect him to not be in the next race driving for Blue Hawk. But looks like Serd is really managed his tires quite well this stint, as he has not dropped off his times too much. Dries Verhulst on the other side, not having the same luck. And Radovan Zankel, okay, coming out the pits with Bertold Limpar. As remember, both of them came into the pits at the same time, but I don't think Bertold really wanted to come into the pits at that time. As Eric and Christoph coming into the pits. Dries also heading into the pits. So is Oliver and Gunnar Hardy and Tim Sieb and Leon Stapelfeld and Jack Snedden. Everybody coming into the pits as well. Actually, oh my god, Jake Snedden has a drive-through penalty. That's why he's into the pits. And at the halfway point already, what have we learned from this race? Well, oh my god, this is what we've learned. Oh, keeping it out of the wall though, Benjamin Koo. That was a huge moment. Huge moment. But congrats to him for not putting it into the wall. Good stuff by Benjamin Koo. Chef's kiss. Great stuff. Still has to come into the pit. Same as Sven Viviki and Sert Plug and Abe. And those are the only people who have to come into the pits. The rest are in the pits right now. We haven't really talked much about Abe. Currently running 217.9s. Now finally into the pits, and well, what is it going to be? Is it going to be changing tires? Is it going to be just fuel? Or possibly is it going to be something funky? I don't know. Does he have any damage on his car? No, he doesn't. Sir Plug not coming into the pits. Neither is Sven. And Benjamin Koo will most likely have to come into the pits because of his explorations with the wall, nearly. Oh, Windows trying to tell me something. What is Windows trying to tell me? Oh, just some random stuff. Great. There is Benjamin Koo into the pits, as I predicted, because, yeah, those tires must be cooking, and not in a good way. Benjamin Koo. A long way through the pits. Eric Giselle, a little bit too far back in order to fight Abe for the win for now. Christoph also too far back to fight Eric for second place. And finally, Sir Pluk and Sven Viviki into the pits. So that will let Abe have the lead back ahead of Eric and Christoph, who has some lap traffic in front of him. The person who I should not say. And now the actual grid has formed, the actual round, I don't know how you'd call it, standings, there we go, standings. Miguel Estezaran close to the back of Villepierre. And getting much, much closer to last lap. 2/10 up. No, and is he going to overtake him? No. He did for a little bit. But not able to do that this time. Now, Leon. Oh my god, what's happened with Tim Sieb and Ganahadi? Yet again, another Honda. Having problems. And that's Miguel. Is he going to get a better run? And ahead now. Through through the chicane. Yeah, thank you. You know, the paint job is great. That is all thanks to Mr. Anthony Camacho, who's also racing today. And you can support him by following him on Instagram and anywhere else that you can find him as well. He is SNB Racing. He is a professional graphic designer. So he does quite a lot of good liveries. There we go. That's his Instagram on the back if you can catch it. Bosh. snb.simracing. And actually it's good that we have caught up to Anthony Camacho as he's got Leon Staplefeldt behind him. Fighting dearly for his life to get up into P11 as Tim Sieb. Oh, does he have a drive-through? Yes, he does. 4 track limits. Tim Sieb having to take the very long way around. And if you are enjoying the race so far, do drop a like and subscribe, since it's a free way to support us and what we do here. As Leon Staplefeldt now round the outside, Anthony Camacho not leaving him any room. And Leon Staplefeldt having to stay back for now. It's 20 minutes to go of this race, and look at that. Christoph has set the fastest lap of the race at 2:16.8, and that is a whole second quicker than Eric last lap alone. So can he possibly go for second place and maybe even more? Is the big question. We'll have to find out later on. Look at how much he's gained, did Christoph. I have no clue where this pace has unlocked from, because he didn't set a 2:16 in the qualifying, as we remember. Look at him. That was such an easy overtake for him. The Apex 1 driver unlocking an extra 50 horsepower or something in his Ferrari 296 ahead of Eric Giselle. And Eric Giselle just not able to retaliate at all, and has to settle for third. So Christoph, next up now is Abe Santama. Can he fight one of the most dominant drivers in VGTR for the win? The only people who have really been able to challenge Abe before have been Tommy Lydon, Tommy Lydon, Jakob Osterman, and Lewis Rotters in the Season 2 of the Endurance Series. Also Ayrton Stefano back in the day. And that's pretty much it as far as I remember. So, not a lot of people have been able to fight him. And, well, is what I can say. Christoph might cement himself in the books, in the history books of VGTR, if he can properly fight with Mr. Abe Santama. As Abe sets a 2:17.4, Christoph 2:17.5. Though remember, he was fighting with Eric there for a while. Abe also having a lot of traffic in the way, so Christoph is going to have to clear that in a second. And this is going to be a very close battle. We haven't had such a close battle in a while. And this is what happens when you put money on the line. Even if it is just $2 an entry fee. $2. Still, people fight tooth and nail. As Christoph... Oh, get it taken out! My eyes cannot believe the sadness that I have just witnessed. The absolute sadness. Sherrick Koch completely forgetting what blue flags are and taking out one of the winner contenders of Krzysztof Makowski, who's probably got an infinite amount of damage. And with 16 minutes to go off this race, he'll be happy to finish in the top 15. As he limps back to the pits, that is just such a sad sight. Such a super sad sight, and I would not be surprised if the perpetrator gets a huge penalty for that. Because you simply cannot take out the leading cars, or anybody. You can't take anybody out, especially when you're blue flagged. But we'll have to investigate that one a little bit further. Obviously no live stewarding in this race, as Krzysztof limps back, and he does get it back to the pits, and it's going to be so many minutes of pit, of repairs. It's going to be, I mean, I think it's going to be over 4 minutes. Maybe 3 minutes, if we're pushing it correctly. But he's going to be lucky to finish in the top 15. Now, Leon Stapelfeld is still fighting with Anthony Camacho, who just completely cuts the corner. And gains a pretty substantial advantage, I'd say, there. That was a huge advantage that he gained. But I don't think it's going to matter too much, as Leon Stapelfeld is gaining and gaining. And every single time they cross a corner, they go on the straights, he gains 1/10 away. Round the outside, off the next chicane. Can he get it done? Oh my god, round the outside. What a beautiful move. Every single time somebody does that, that just cements them as such a good driver. Very good stuff by Leon Stapelfeld there to get himself up into the top 10. And Krzysztof still in the pits. And yeah, I don't even know if he's going to be... Oh, look at that. Jerry Koch, the person who caused all of the problems, or I'm not going to say that. What looked to be caused the problem, caused the accident. Already out of the pits. Krzysztof, though, looks like he didn't hold the brakes, and in the end, into the tire wall. But oh, it's such a gutted feeling. It looks like I have been jinxing a lot of the drivers today. It started with Marvin Reisenhauser. As what the hell was that? Who was that? That just caused Gerhard Hutaman to completely spin off. Leon, I think, had a collision with Andrew Priatko. It's Leon Stapelfeld now behind Anthony Camacho again, and with damage. What's going on? First race of the season. And this is the current state of things. Leon Stapelfeld still not able to catch Anthony Camacho, and especially with that damage, he's not going to be catching too well. As Benjamin Koo, did he find himself in the wall? No, he didn't actually. That's a really peculiar way. That's a really peculiar place. Interesting, but he did lose a couple of positions there to Miguel Estezara and Ganahade Hutama. Leon Stapelfeld, even with his damage, still gaining in the slipstream to Anthony Camacho, and might launch an attack down the straight into the bus stop chicane, but not able to do that, as again Anthony Camacho cuts the chicane. What is it with... What is going on? Anthony Camacho continuously cutting that chicane whenever Leon gets close to him. That is the second time I've seen that happen. That is the second time I've seen him do that. It's such a sneaky way to gain a couple of tenths on your opponents. As you can see, Leon is nowhere near to him now. And by the way, Christoph finally out of the pits. 154 second pit stop for him. 154 seconds. Wow. It looks like Leon able to gain in the final couple of corners of the second sector. Heading into the final sector, because look at that. He's so much closer. He's gained a whole 6 tenths in that little bit alone. And continuing to do so right up until the end of the race, of the lap. Hopefully the race as well. Four tenths away, not as close as he was last lap. When he was chasing him down into the bus stop. But still, will Anthony Camacho pull off his little cut? No, he won't. And now Leon Stapelfeld will have an equal fight with him down towards the first corner. Instead of Anthony cutting that chicane. That is such a funny way, you know, to use up your track limit violations. As Leon did get a little bit of a better exit. As Anthony Camacho going super deep. But because he went super deep, he's able to have a little bit of a better run out of the source. And able to keep Leon Stapelfeld at bay for now. Just a little bit longer. They've got about 3 laps to go. Maybe a bit more. With Leon Stapelfeld round the outside. He's done this move before. He breaks way later. Anthony Camacho able to stay ahead for now as he had the inside line. And Leon Stapelfeld onto the gravel. As Bertold Limpar having some problems up ahead, it looks like. Going slow. And not losing any positions yet to Radovan Zankel. Is this my insane teammates dominating? Funny isn't the word that I'd use. Does anyone know pole time? It was a 2:16.6 in fast conditions. It was fast conditions. I would not have been pole. Wow. It was super hard. It was definitely super hard for a lot of people, as Leon Stapelfeld getting closer to Anthony Camacho, getting closer. Still not able to overtake. Yeah, on faster. Oh, that is crazy indeed. But second place was only a 2:17.2, so that could have been very close. I think you could have got that one. Though currently the person who started in second place still running in second place. No, yes, he is. It's the person who started in third place. He's running in 20th. Unfortunately for him. Yeah, on pole was Abe for Thomas Enges Simracing is the team that he's racing for. Christoph now just setting the fastest laps of the race. Really has nothing else to do. With 3.5 minutes to go, the main contender for the win, currently running in 19th place, a whole 50 seconds behind Jake Snedden in P18, and just trying to get rid of as many points as possible from the rest of the field. It is only 1 point, but all points count when it comes to the end of the season. Leon Stapelfeld still in the fight. As 2 more laps, I think they have. 2 more laps. Could be 3. Still could be 3, I think. Yes, where is Abe? Abe is here. And by the time that he finishes this lap, it will be 1 minute 20 remaining. So he's got 1 more lap after this. These guys have 2 more laps as it stands. So Leon Stapelfeld, can he push on? Can he push on? Because he would dearly like a top 10 finish in the first race. Anthony Camacho would also love a top 10 finish in this race after getting rid of all of the splits. He would definitely love to finish in P10 in the first race. It would be a huge win for him. And Leon now 3/10 away. These two, by the way, technically in the same team, both under the VGTR Esport name, running under different teams in this season, under their own teams. So, you know what? Elbows out. Have a good race. Properly fight it out on track. Who is the better driver in the team? Is it Anthony Camacho? Or is it Leon Stapelfeld? Obviously, that's not going to be measured over one race. But it might as well be. It might as well be. And also Anthony Camacho now gaining to the back of Radovan Zankel. I love that name. That name is so cool. It's Radovan. Oh, no, who's that? Oh, that is Jarek Koch. Going off the track, letting the rest by. As somebody enters the pit. Somebody definitely entered the pit or just went super wide. As Anthony Camacho looks like he is clear of Leon Staplefeld for now. The final lap for them. It is going to be Abe Santama who takes the win. And it is yet another great finish for him. As he comes home in Belgium to win the opening round of the VGTR Season 11. And Christoph not allowed. No, that's Benjamin Kuhn not wanting to do an extra lap. Abe not allowing that at all. As Abe finishes this race in first. Eric Giselle comes home in second place. We have not seen him do how would I place this? We haven't seen him this close in the championship to Abe before. And finally, he has had his break. And he's up in second place. Dries Verhulst. Great finish by him. He's up in third for Blue Hawk. And Serd Pluk in fourth as well for Blue Hawk. So probably the highest scoring team out there today is Blue Hawk. Great stuff by them. Sven Viviki finishes in fifth place. And Anthony Camacho still in the fight here with Radovan Zankel. 3/10 away. Can he possibly launch a final second attack? Maybe Radovan Zankel goes super wide here. He could get a better exit. He's going to be super close. But I don't think he's going to have enough time. And he's going to have to settle for 4/10 away from P9. A good finish for Anthony Camacho up in P10. Good stuff indeed. And, well, that is pretty much the end of the race. As always, Abe wins the race. Well, who would have guessed? Pretty much, we could have just simulated the race and Abe still would have won. But that is it for the race. Thank you to everybody who watched. If you did enjoy, do like and subscribe. And we will be posting all of the results on social media. And also, hopefully, be posting some highlights in the coming week. Do tune in tomorrow for the 8 hours of Le Mans that I will actually be driving in the Ferrari 296 GT3 for charity. And there is also going to be a charity link open tomorrow for everybody to donate to. It is a good cause. But thank you to everybody, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Until next time, bye bye.